Thank you. No. Seriously. Thank you. Hello, I'm Peter the Door, and today I will be your host for Top 4 Scrapped Video Ideas. Oh, today we're kinda going for a new vibe over here. I know, so creative and so original. You can't stop telling me about that, I already know. What are we gonna see today are four ideas that didn't make it into a final video, because they weren't too good, or I didn't have the time, or I didn't want to do enough research for them. Let's start. Number 1. Simpsons aren't funny anymore because now people get offended just too easily. It's such a dumb thing to say. Now, I wrote this down a couple of months ago. I didn't remember who, but I heard somebody on YouTube, probably on a podcast, say this. It was in a conversation and somebody was talking to somebody else about how and why the Simpsons don't have the same effect and impact that they had years ago. And one of them said, well, you know, now people just get offended too easily. That will be too edgy for Simpsons to just don't get cancelled immediately. And I never agreed less with something before this. Modern Simpsons have issues. Issues that go way beyond the, oh no, the jokes were too edgy before, now they wouldn't allow it. I've been an enormous fan of The Simpsons as then the Griffin while I was in middle school and at the start of high school, and I can tell you, for sure the classic Simpsons have jokes that now wouldn't be allowed, that's for sure. But I don't think that's the problem for modern Simpsons. When you turn on TV and you see an episode of The Simpsons, you can tell that the problems go way beyond the jokes. From story writing to character writing, to the way that they turn from a fun parody of what was happening at the time to the animated representation of how it's going, fellow kids meme. Why didn't this make it into a final video, you may ask? Well, it's not that long of a concept to express, and I may be wrong about this. I just may be really wrong about this, and maybe the whole classic Simpsons were very good only and just because of the jokes. I'm not a Simpson expert, and I didn't watch the whole 30+ series, but I remember just feeling like classic Simpsons had way more in the way the characters behaved with each other, in the way that the characters entered a story, and in the way they developed, in the way they seemed real and a parody of real things. And also I didn't want to make one of those videos like, why Simpsons nowadays are very bad. No, that's not my point. I think that even modern Simpsons are a great show to watch while you have lunch, while you have dinner. They're a great comfort food. I mean, comfort food for lunch. But that doesn't make me agree with something like, well, modern Simpsons would be just cancelled immediately if they made edgy jokes like they did before. No, that's just not real. Number 2. The handling of a group chat and the problem of, yeah, just Google it. Group relationships and group interactions are already one of the most complicated things that you may analyze in the friends that you have around. How a group becomes a group of friends, how everybody works in some way with some other and doesn't with somebody else, creating this bunch of people that just work perfectly together. But group relationships and interactions, oh well, that's just way more complicated. And I'm absolutely not here to shit on group interactions or say something like, you can't have friends online and the only group of friends that you may have are the one in real life or they're not real. No, that's fucking dumb. Again, I enjoy through the years so much my time with groups on Telegram to WhatsApp to even Instagram groups. They can be one of the most fun and cool things on the planet. Making jokes and telling facts on a chat where everybody's laughing and somebody is sending memes, somebody sending pictures of their faces laughing. That's the best thing ever. I love sending Google News articles to my group of friends saying, oh guys, look at what happened. And when they ask me, just telling them more and more because we're in a chat and they actually have to listen to what I'm saying and they can't say, who asked? Because that's a group chat, you just read the things. But oh, if there's a thing that inspires, are the people that don't go full way with it. People that could have so much fun on group chat, but they just decide that they won't put that minimum effort that they need for it. Telling a fun fact, but then at the first rise of the first person just nearly interested into it, they will say, Google it. Tell me more about it before asking me to Google it, because I won't Google it if I don't care about it. You're making me care about it. You're trying to make me interested into it, because I don't care what you're saying at the moment. I want to know about your story. I want to know more about what you have to say to me and to the group. Why do you have to end the thing with a Google it? I know that that's a fun, quirky verb to say, oh well, to know more of the story, you can just look it up on the internet. But saying Google it, it's like, why are you interested in what I'm saying? Man, just look it up on the internet. Then why were you here telling me about that? I don't understand. You may start to notice why those things didn't make it into a fun video, huh? And going on with number 3, the weird nostalgia for the early and late 2000s. Does this sound familiar to you? Does this sound like you heard this before? Well, that's because you did. This scrapped video in particular should have been about how weird it was that now my whole generation was missing a part of their childhood that wasn't really that much gone at all. I would have talked about what were the people actually saying that they were missing and what they looked like from the outside. I would have then made a comparison about the people in the early 2000s that said that they were born in the wrong generation by listening to the Beatles and other stuff like that. And then I would have came up with a conclusion by saying that you really miss a time because you can appreciate more the difference with yours. If it was 2006 right now, you wouldn't appreciate as much listening to, I don't know, Green Day and Smash Mouth, because they will just be the normal things. They wouldn't be this weird niche that you're enjoying and you're appreciating because it's better than what the other people are listening to. If you were to turn on the radio with Green Day and we were to go on the school bus with everybody talking about them, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. Of course, you may have appreciated the music even back then, but what do you have now listening to them is exactly the same as somebody in the early 2000s saying that they wish they were born in the right generation to listen to the Beatles as they were becoming famous. It's just a different kind of passion, because that's your niche, weird thing from the past that you're enjoying and nobody else is, because it's better than what you know and what the other people know. But I mean, that's just what I think. You could say something back to me, and I would enjoy if you did, but that's kind of the whole things that I think about. And also, while looking for more information into this video, I found the two videos, one from 1987 and the one of 2010, the famous Goodbye 2010, that made me, in the end, use all of this information to make the video We Learn Nothing from the 90s Kids. That I hope you saw. And for the last but not the least on the list, the Teen Titans Go, and making a cartoon is very hard, okay? Teen Titans Go is a show that I actually appreciate. I really get the anger from the fans of the original Teen Titans, because, as we said before, I was young when they were on TV. They were such a cool show, and I think, of course, that the anger is not based on saying that it's not a good show at all because it's for kids, but it's like if they took Steven Universe and its characters and tomorrow they made a show for 3-year-olds. I will still say, I mean, it's not bad, but that's just a use of the characters that I got affectionated with into something that is kinda embarrassing and kinda makes jokes about it itself. So these are my principal thoughts when I hear an argument about this on the internet. So just so you know, I don't think it's bad, I just think that people are mad about it because it's using characters that they love for things that they don't love, of course. But I wrote down this specific idea after watching on TV for the third time the 100 self-aware episode of Teen Titans Go, where, if you don't know, the characters basically get to meet the people that make their cartoons and the people give the voice to them. At one point the characters realize that every episode of their things kinda sucks, or is boring, or something like that, and in a kind of self-aware response to the haters and to the fans of the show, they end up by trying to make an episode of Teen Titans Go and realizing how hard it is to make a cartoon, how much a story has to be written well and other things like that, to make something interesting. The show already responded to haters in other hate-baiting stuff like this, but this one specifically kinda tingled my nose, I would say. Because even if the other parts of the episode didn't make it enough, this one specifically makes it look like the whole aim of this was just to say, oh, they're criticizing us, but they don't know what we have to go through to make a single episode go outside. They keep saying we ruined their childhoods, but they just don't know what we have to go through to make a single episode of a cartoon. And I don't think that's the right response for something like that. Because Teen Titans Go is one of the little, if not the only show that I think that its fans can defend way better than its creators. Don't mind me, my camera just died, I'm recording with my phone. Because of course it's very cool to show the production of a video and people that are around it. But that's not the right response of hate about the show, and how it's writing over these characters with the face that everybody loves is just not written for them. The people that hate the show are not just fat people on the internet and dark emos that just want to hate on everything. And once again, it seems like they just wanted to embrace more hate for it. And I don't know, that sounds kind of Twittery-like. That kind of anger that you get by going on Twitter when you see something that will make you angry, but you just feel like, this is just made to make me angry. And it's not working like this. So now, recording with my phone, I will say that that was the top 4 scrapped video ideas. And thank you for being with me.